Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 60 of the It's Trending podcast. But before we get into it, if you guys do, make sure to hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, let's kind of get right into the nitty gritty. So, we don't waste.
Man, guys. I'm sorry we're sorry that we're a bit late. My boy had a rough day today, and he
Ooh.
took a nap, and we were thinking about pushing the show back a week and stuff like that. But he says he's fine now, so let's get it going.
So, one in particular to kick things off was the fact that Hikuleo actually was in talks with WWE, according to WrestlingInc.com. Back in obviously the NJPW Strong Openweight Champion Hikuleo could be heading to the WWE.
If
After
they do what I think they're gonna do, because he is Samoan too. If they're gonna do what I think they're gonna do with him. Please don't do it. Don't prolong this bloodline storyline. Please don't. Don't do it.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty much saying I don't think they're gonna or they're not gonna probably not do that.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope by the time he's on TV, the bloodline storyline is over. But WWE, they have a funny way of prolonging stuff when they don't need to.
Yeah,
They've done it before. Um, with this bloodline stuff, they they actually messed it up because it was supposed to be Jay and Jimmy were gonna where how I would have done it. Jay and Jimmy don't even split. All right. And they super kick Roman, all that happy go lucky stuff, and then they're feuding for a little bit, and they go on their merry way elsewhere. And then you can still do the whole Roman and Solo thing for a little bit, and then have Solo turn on down the line. But that's that still hasn't happened. Jimmy's back in the bloodline. Jay's on a different show. It's gotten really annoying, the whole thing. So I hope when Hikuleo comes to the company that they don't enter him into that, make the bloodline strong again with the whole Roman has extra help, and it's just like it gets really annoying.
yeah. Well, even though he is the son of Haku and also has, and I think if people knows that his brothers are Tongaloa and Tamatonga. For those who are wondering, so he's
Yeah, we'll talk about all of that on Friday, Daniel.
Wednesday.
We'll talk about yeah. This is a wrestling podcast, so right now we're focusing on wrestling right now, but yeah, we'll definitely talk about Maxi on Friday. Um, but but that's that whole thing with Hikuleo, is that the whole bloodline thing still going on. I don't know if they're going to insert him. I don't know what's going to happen there. I hope not, but we'll see in the future. We'll see.
We'll see, but nothing's right and set in stone at the moment. But Cody Rhodes actually going on. JD McDonough was actually had some positive praise from Cody. Pretty much said that JD McDonough is probably going to be a big time player for WWE at some point. Um,
Yeah, I really do. I do think that he is going to be a big time player. I do. I didn't really like his NXT run at all. Like, I don't. Um, Now, if you watch highlights, Daniel, you're technically a wrestling fan, but you just don't watch it. You're still into wrestling, but not as heavily. But you're into wrestling. Um, but that's the whole thing with JD. I didn't like his NXT run. I did not like it at all. He was Jordan Devlin for a time. He had a good run in NXT UK, then went over to NXT 2.0 and got super kicked by three guys in a match. And at that point, I'm like, yeah, he's going to get buried on NXT TV. He's going to get buried. if he's getting super kicked 3 times in that deadline match last year, not even picking up a fall, like, are
Yeah.
you like that's he's gonna get buried. He is not. He's not highly. He wasn't even highly touted after in NXT. So I hope Cody's right. I hope he's a star because I loved his work. Like the psychotic heel who goes after limbs, tries to break limbs. Dude, I like that character. I really do, man. I really do. But they just need to keep working with him. Keep this whole Judgment Day thing going on for a little bit, and then for the love of all things holy, have Damian Priest cash in already. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of waiting.
Seems like everyone's it's get to that point where at some
Like
point they're gonna have to have someone else take the briefcase off him permanently.
now it's like every time he has that almost cash in, something's interrupting the cash in. I'm like, for love, I'm like over here throwing my hands up. I'm like, really? Another interruption with that? Let him cash in already. Like I know what it entails. If he cashes in and wins the world heavyweight title, then Finn's gonna turn on him and he's out of the bloodline. We're not the bloodline, the Judgment Day. Wrong faction, Tyler. Wrong brand too. What the heck? Um, but yeah, it's just like they've got to work with the guy. They got to work with this, and they've got to finish this story. They got to
Yeah, I
finish it.
mean,
And yes, I pulled out a Cody Rhodes reference. I know, but they got to finish this story, man. Like it's starting to they're starting to skid a little bit with the wheels. The wheels are turning, but they're not moving. And yeah, Io Sky's been women's champion for 100 days. I'm happy that they've let her eclipse 100 days, because you know how WWE is with Asian wrestlers.
they don't care.
And I'm just like, I hope they don't screw with her and they only give her a 1 month reign. She's had a really good reign. But the problem is she's with that faction, and that faction isn't even over.
No, and that's really kind of bringing down her value a little bit as well.
It's bringing down the value a little, a tad bit. Her value's still there, but it's bringing it down a little bit. But I am happy that Io Sky is highly touted after, and she's been their champion for 100 days. I'm really happy about that. That's what I was hoping Asuka would have been, as an Asian wrestler who had the title. I was hoping Asuka would, have that too,
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. Asuka won the title and immediately loses to Bianca.
And I
Like
thought, like in a banger match, like I can't lie when she
it was,
blows out her knee and still fit.
yeah. She. But here's the thing, though. She lost it to Bianca, but then Io cashed in that same night. So that poor booking decision was immediately rectified because everyone loves Io. I love Io. She's awesome. And yeah, with the whole Asuka, well, it's not really a super group now. They're only doing the whole Asuka thing to just fill up the 5-on-5 War Games match. She's not in the group. She's just working with the group.
Yeah, pretty
Hopefully
much.
that's the case, but as of right now, I'm seeing it's just a 5-on-5 scenario where Asuka's, working with them. Now Io, no, not Io. Kyrie's in the group, which I don't really like. How Kyrie going into her big debut, she was, well loved. Oh, I can't wait for Kyrie to show up, and fans love her. They debut her as a heel. How does that make sense? Usually, when a heel turn is supposed to happen when the fans start turning on the wrestler, not when the fans love the wrestler.
And plus, at the same time, you're at a Saudi show. The crowd was even though if that show needs to be cut because this year was not
Here's
great.
the thing, man. And I'm gonna. This is exactly why I absolutely despise Saudi Arabia shows. Because when it comes to the male wrestlers, they're all yeah. When it comes to the women wrestlers, they're just sitting there, not on their phones, or just like, who the heck is this?
And it was the same thing with some of the men's matches at Saudi Arabia too. That
It's like they don't know who these people are. Some of the time, they don't know who they are, and it's like, are you kidding me? And also, I don't like that WWE was like, oh, Saudi's is a wonderful place, and they're like, every single time they go there. After the first time I watched the Saudi show, it made me sick. So I'm like, yeah, you really think it's a wonderful place? They don't like women. They don't like gay people. The government, if they don't like what you're saying about their country, you're gonna get offed. I'm not gonna say the other word because we're PG.
But I mean,
And that's why I don't like Saudi shows, because it's government. It's government. Literally, it's government funded. So any money that they get from views on Peacock, that goes to the Saudi government. Like, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not giving them any money. I'm not. Like, it's stupid. Who's gonna join Team Bianca? Good question.
Honestly, I have no clue.
I have no idea either. I know Charlotte's in the group. Ew, don't like Charlotte.
Why do I feel like women's
also
War Games might just go
let me complain about Charlotte for a minute. You couldn't even sell for Kyrie,
even though,
dude, like there's like this spot where she had to get driven to the steel steps.
Yeah, but that
Charlotte couldn't even sell that for Kyrie. Like, are you kidding me?
It was just a weak throw by Kyrie, because I mean,
it wasn't. I mean, but here's the thing, though. It wasn't so much a weak throw. It was more so Charlotte was just like stiffing up and using her body weight, so it's hard for Kyrie to throw her. You're supposed to help her. You're supposed to run forward and guide her. And then when you hit the steps, actually sell. And you don't do that. And that's what really bugged me on Friday. I had to get that off my chest.
And let's be real. I have a feeling that women's War Game match is not going to be that great as it was last year. I think that's what's, for me, if I'm going to have to say, it's obviously it's going to be a slight blemish going into Survivor Series War Games.
I feel like War Games, that match is going to be okay, but Charlotte's going to bring it down a bit. It's going to bring it down with the no selling nonsense, the I'm all high and mighty nonsense, all that nonsense, man. That's what's going to bug me.
Yeah,
but I don't think the match is going to be bad. I really don't. I think the rest of the women are going to carry, but Charlotte's going to bring it down a little bit.
I don't even know why she was.
Nah. I don't even. And she's not used on TV if they don't want her to have the title yet. Or not when they want her to have a title. Like, they put her on TV once there's a title change or title match or whatever they want to put her in. Do they put her in any other feud that doesn't involve a title? No. She's always in the title picture, and it's getting annoying. But I don't know who would join. I don't know. Somebody's going to be in that. Somebody's going to be that fifth member.
I'll say, but speaking of, so Saray's actually been kind of in the news as of recently. So Saray actually just opted to sign with the new women's promotion called Sugaban down over in Japan. After Saray, I think he left voluntarily because they had really done nothing with her.
They turned her into an anime schoolgirl.
Yeah, the most stereotypical
NXT. I'm like, that is some racist bullshit. If I know one, and yes, I cursed one time, and that's the only curse word I'm gonna say. It was some racist nonsense. It was racist nonsense because it was stupid. You turned her into an anime schoolgirl.
Yeah, which never made any sense.
Becky. I think no, Becky's on Raw. Becky has no ties with Becky has no ties with that storyline, so I don't think Becky's going to join that team.
Yeah,
She has no ties with that story, so I don't see her doing that.
because that's going to bring down the show a little bit. Um, because I just don't think this year's women's war games match is going to be that strong. Quite honestly,
Tyler, this is Charlotte. Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, with going back to a Saray, um, left in February 2020. Obviously, but that's
In
not the things.
February, yeah, yeah, she's been, yeah, she, after what they did to her in NXT 2.0 when they changed her character to this like anime,
Like the most stereotypical.
most stereotypical anime character ever.
We could tell blatantly where they were going with back
I
then.
was like, oh my god, she better leave right now.
And no, she voluntarily left. Like she left on her own free will.
And
Um,
after she did, and after you made that announcement, when she did, I was like, good, good. She does not deserve to be there
I mean,
because
she's not.
they misused the heck out of her.
Actually, no, she left in March of 22, but she joined the company in February during the pandemic era. Um,
They
even
were
though
fine using her in the pandemic era. They're fine. 2020, she was good. It was after mid 2021 where they were using her. They changed the whole character where she comes out in the schoolgirl clothing, and then they morphed her into this fighting or her wrestling gear in her entrance. I'm like, this is stupid.
So what's funny about that, because according to this article by WrestlingNews.co, that she worked just 23 total matches under the WWE banner, despite having interest from the company. Once again, she has currently signed a multi-year deal with Sukuban, which is very much the kind of what Stardom is. It's like another women's wrestling league, kind of like Stardom in a sense. Will debut in their second event in company history. Uh, SRS also noted that the WWE actually pursued her to make a return to the company. Man,
I don't listen. Sean Ross Sapp doesn't know anything anymore. Like he makes all these like speculations of things that end up not being true. And it's like, dude, enough. So I don't believe that WWE actually pursued her. I don't believe that. I don't believe that she would want to go back to a company that was misusing her so much in mid 2021 into 2022. I do not believe that. And yeah, I know, and yeah, Jono, I finally got what you meant. It's Charlotte that we're talking about here, and Becky Lynch and Charlotte have history, but I don't see it. I really don't. She's on Raw, completely different setup there. I know they have history. I know it would be a good uh moment, wrestling moment to relive a feud, but only when a story calls for it, in my opinion. If a story calls for them to feud again, then do it. But they're not feuding anymore. They're not feuding. So and they're on completely different shows. Charlotte is on SmackDown and Becky is on Raw. And and I they're not even doing anything. Yeah, and I get they're not doing anything with her on Raw right now, but they'll find a storyline for her. They'll find it.
yeah. Like I know we harp on Kevin Nash for his ridiculous takes. Like in case in particular, where Seth Rollins is that now from a character's perspective, which he didn't really like because no one's like that's a heel character, but somehow the people love it as more as a bait. It's
Here's the thing. I was confused in the beginning. I'm like, why is he all of a sudden face when this is a heel gimmick? I hated it. I had that same take in the beginning. But then I'm like, over time, I'm like, I can see why this would work as a face gimmick. Even though it's really that's just speculation, Chris. That's just speculation right now. And plus, like I said, there isn't really like any story ties to that. I know she had feuds with Becky. I get that. I know. But then again, she is a part of that, Rob. Never mind. Because she had ties with Damage Control before.
yeah,
SummerSlam.
yeah. I think, but this
They
is
had to
before
hold that
she.
off for a bit. And now they're probably gonna revisit it. So yeah, you know what? I do think it'll be back now. I had to think about it for a minute. And use my brain there.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Kevin Nash admits that he didn't like the Seth freaking Rollins character, but he changed his tune, and that's kind of how what we were.
That's how I was. That's how we were. That's how we were, Rob.
Because
So I
it's
get it.
like,
I absolutely get it. I'm like this works as a heel gimmick because he's cocky and he's brass and the eccentric clothing and stuff. That screams heel. Everything about the character
yeah,
screams heel.
it's
Like
but he turned into a babyface gimmick.
he turned it to a babyface gimmick because the crowd loved him. The crowd were singing the song back to him. Um, the crowd digged it, so they organically turned him face. And honestly, I think he's had his best face run. This run is his best face run.
Yeah,
Now, him as the architect,
yeah.
when
Well,
he
I think
was
no one's
facing
good.
like 2018 into 2019, I was like, I mean, it's okay, but it's not the
I think
best
that year,
face.
I think he had his best heel runs in those years. Um,
Yeah,
as kind of
when he was joining the Authority back in 2014, 2015, that was good. That was good stuff.
unfortunately, I think tore his knee. I think in 2016, kind of had kept him up from a handful of months.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Dakota Kai. I think it's going to be Dakota Kai, so to speak, because if she's close to return, she's coming back at War Games. So she'll be for the 5-on-5. But that but yeah, when he injured himself, when Seth got that injury, it was
It's just yeah. So sticking actually with NXT though, I know we talked about this last episode with NXT going to the CW, which kind of intriguing now that the fact that we can see SmackDown coming back to USA, which that hasn't happened since 2016. NXT as of
no,
recent
Rob, you got it wrong again, man.
or 2019. I'm an idiot.
It was 2019 because remember, SmackDown didn't go to Fox until October 2019. So yeah, you got it wrong again, bro. You made the same mistake, bro. Come on, bro.
But even at the same time, with the NXT, I know myself included, I kind of harped on it because, like, I call it like a dead brand because no one really gives two shits of watching it. But
Here's the problem that I have with NXT, and I've always said this: they were best. They were best when they weren't doing the hokey stuff and they weren't doing the segments that were cheesy and the acting part wasn't bad. I was almost gonna say the four-letter S word, but then I remember we were PG.
but
But yeah,
that's more
yeah,
2021 and 20. I
it was
think they found whenever when TKO when they finally merged this year, you could see there's a different feel and different feel look of NXT now. Like there's hardly any cheesy segments you could probably point out. And obviously, yeah, obviously this week we got a couple more NXT Iron Survivor qualifying matches with Roxanne Perez taking a Last Legend. For the
But here's the thing, though. The only thing that deserves to get any hokiness into the stuff is the Halloween episodes.
yeah,
Because
actually, you know what? That's kind of
because Halloween's hokey enough as it is, with people dressing up and stuff like that.
I mean,
Like
there's all. Yeah,
that part.
I keep forgetting. I
Heck,
forgot
I
about
watch
holiday.
hokey. Dude, I watch Hocus Pocus. That's hokey as hell,
And
and I love it. And for Halloween, that's fine.
it's going to be interesting too. Is the fact that there's been talks with NXT going to be on the road if next year. It's interesting.
Again, I said this last week when we were talking, and I said this would be a good move for NXT. This would be a good move because now you can have that bigger crowd week in and week out. Now you got the real test.
I
Can you
mean,
get over with an arena sized crowd? Can you do it?
and we've seen some of the pay-per-views have been pretty solid. It's not out
Guys
of the
like
possible.
Guys like Carmelo Hayes gets huge pops at these arena shows.
Trick
Trick
Williams
gets huge. Trick has huge pops on these arena shows. Roxanne Perez got a huge pop one time at an arena show.
There's a list we can name off, down and again. Like I said, we'll be back at it again tomorrow night for NXT because,
and also another plus that I have for NXT. Look how expansive their roster is.
Yeah,
Like they are like, dude, you got some great talent down there.
And I will say this too, like, and the women's wrestling, it's starting to get it's starting to get there's a lot of fine tune you're seeing within the women's division.
Yep.
Not because we got Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez, that kind of thing. We also got Xia Li, who's actually back down in NXT. Well,
but Xia Li's not part of that roster though. She's part of Raw.
But this is,
and I think no, and also back to the War Games thing. Becky does have something to do. She's in a feud with Xia Li. She's in a feud with her. So
and they should finally do something with Xia Li because boy, how many
they're
times
finally doing something with her. Like they had her kick Candice LeRae's head off for crying out loud.
Like kind of like a not like a TKO type of finish.
It was technically a TKO because she wasn't out like a light. She was just boozy and she couldn't get up. It was a TKO. A technical lockout. But that's the whole thing though. Like they're finally doing something with Xia on the main roster. I don't see why they brought her down to NXT for a mini feud with the champ. Like I don't understand that. Like, yes, do I like Lyra Valkyria? Yeah, I do. She's awesome. But give her somebody in that roster. Don't bring somebody down from the main roster into the NXT women's championship scene.
I would rather.
She just came off of winning against somebody who's already on the main roster.
True, but also at the same time,
and it angers me, Rob. It angers me that the fact that you have so much talent in that women's division down there, and you don't even give them a shot. You give somebody from the main roster a shot.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, it can't be worse than having Becky Lynch holding the damn belt, anyways.
But still, it's still kind of worse because you're giving somebody from the main roster an opportunity. When you have a lot of these women, I want to see women like Fallon Henley get a shot. I want to see women like Roxanne get a rematch.
Yeah,
or a shot again. At the belt. Who else?
Sometimes I kind of feel like that Fallon may not be ready just yet to be.
Fallon needs a little bit of work, but when she gets there, she's almost
women on that women's roster that need some work.
But But a lot of these women are almost there. You see the potential that they have. Give them a title shot, and if they're not ready, have them lose. Give these women on the NXT roster, women's roster, a shot. Stop giving women that are already called up a shot at a lower level match in a lower level championship. Like it it's starting to get annoying because they did it once before, literally the last feud, which wasn't really a feud. It was just a one-off match because Becky was like, "Oh, I respect you. Oh, I respect you too, Becky. Let's have a match." And then Lyra won, so it wasn't really a feud. But yeah, you had someone from the main roster just drop the belt to somebody in NXT. Now you're gonna give the title shot. Now her first feud is gonna be somebody from the main roster. Come on, it's stupid. It's really stupid. But you know, we'll see. We'll see where they go with that. Hopefully, they give it to somebody. They give a feud. I want to see Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne. Give me that.
Well, let's say
I'll be okay with that.
But we'll see about that. But like I said, it's about time they actually gave Xylee something to do for a change because, like I said, the last couple episodes we've done,
and I'm going to tell you something right now. I called it. I freaking called it, man. I said you're going to book her like a killer. You're going to have her kick Candice LeRae's head off.
I mean, you did
literally
say
a second later it happens. I'm like, yo, am I a psychic?
And again, this is what the thing is too. The writing for NXT has been much better as of recently in the year 2023. I mean, we had 2 episodes left of cliffhanger, and you had one, and obviously this past Tuesday, which shout out to everyone that's actually
and they did these cliffhangers beautifully because they played off of facial expressions of these of the wrestlers in the storyline. You had the first cliffhanger being Trick Williams comes out of the ring, but he's looking at Carmelo Hayes pissed off. He's angry. He knows something that we don't know yet. But they cliffhanger. They gave us a cliffhanger, and then the second thing, nothing was revealed. But he was like, he was accusing Carmelo of attacking him. And there was accusations there, but then you're like, did he or didn't he? And then because you saw Lexis King come out,
as kind of
saying, you don't know anything. It could have been me.
Yeah, but Lexis King also said some of that's new is that somebody's hungry.
But then again, to finish the segment, Lexis King dodges a punch right to Carmelo.
Yeah, Carmelo got dropped.
And then he picks him up. He picks him up. Handshake, a hug. But Carmelo isn't smiling. He's looking at the camera, and he looks mad. He looks like he knows something that we don't, or Trick doesn't. So, from the facial expressions itself, the story is writing itself. And I love it. I love it. So now with the facial expressions, we're thinking, Carmelo did it.
We intrigued to see what we could see with NXT this week. With Brian Pillman Jr. or Lexis King, in NXT, they actually did talk about this. Like, he doesn't really pretty much says Lexis King pretty much says, I don't hate my father, which referring to Brian Pillman Sr., but I don't owe him anything to use his name any further, and now it's time to. And this is what
I love about This is what I love about that character. He's paying homage to his father, but he's telling fans, he's telling us, he doesn't hate his father, but he wants to be his own man.
Like, he wants to escape the shadow of the loose cannon.
Yeah, because he's like, look, he basically thinks in storyline that his dad abandoned him by leaving and going to do these wrestling shows, and then ended up dying in a hotel room, which legitimately happened. He died in a hotel room. But he was like, oh, he abandoned me. He abandoned the family. I don't love him. I'm going to be my own man. The heck with the Brian Pillman name. And I love it. I really love it because it's like you're paying homage to his dad.
But
you're letting him pay homage to his dad, but you're letting him be his own man via the story. I love it.
And you could tell, like, he's gotten better on the mic. in a very short amount of time that he's been there.
But
Um,
bro, you got to work on hitting on these dang announcers, man. Backstage, you're coming
yeah,
off as cringeworthy. You got to work on that game, Lexus. You got to work on the game.
mm, uh, pretty much said
But yeah,
so Booker T actually did it. Had him on the Hall of Fame podcast. Even pretty much he talked. Even Lexington talked about saying, "quote I think about it a lot. It's almost. I feel like I never had. I never had a choice. I felt like it was always in my blood for the fact that the day he was going to be named me Brian Pillman, I was trapped. It was everywhere I go to the grocery. Oh, Brian Pillman. It's a household name in Cincinnati where I grew up. So I couldn't escape that legacy. I couldn't escape all reminders of him. And yeah, and that was the part of the biggest things that me and Tara, we didn't really hate, but we were asking, like, so, you got to make him his own man.
yeah,
You
you got to
can't.
make. Yeah, I'm like, when they first signed Brian Pillman Jr., who is now Lexus King, the heck with the name now. I agree with him. The heck with the name. So Lexus King. Once they signed him to that contract, I'm like, I hope they don't make him a carbon copy of his father. I hope they don't tie his name to him and just he's just his dad's son. You know, they did that with a bunch of talent. They did that with Randy Orton,
Yeah,
Cowboy Bob Orton. But
and
he ended up being his own man after a while, so that
and
was
he
fine.
did a Hall of Fame career since then.
Hall of Fame career. They did that with Charlotte. She's now tied to Ric Flair, and now she's just Ric Flair's daughter.
Pretty much a female version of Ric Flair.
And now they're just tying her reigns to we're gonna have her beat her dad's reign. They're tying her to her father, and that's something I didn't want Lexus King to have him tied to his father. Have
Yeah,
him be his own character. Have him be his own man, and they are letting him do it.
and he actually took that name because obviously of his late deceased sisters at the same time. So he's kind of
And again, he's also paying homage to his late sister who had died, because her name was Alexis. Her name was Alexis, and he took the A off of it. Now he's just Alexis King, and I like it. You're paying homage to your late sister, and you're paying homage to your father by saying you don't want to be like him in storyline, but people are like, yeah, he's his dad's son, but he wants to be his own man, and you're saying that in the storyline, but you want it in real life, which I respect that.
because it really does make you. You got to put yourself in Pillman Jr.'s shoes, like the fact that he has to carry that name in reality, because the
And
fact that
some of the stuff they're having him say as a heel, you kind of feel for the guy, even though he's a heel. He's supposed to be the guy you hate,
yeah,
and you
but
kind of feel for him. It's like, damn, I feel for the guy.
but I mean, if you want to really make him hate you, at least at least give him like a promo to the where he, well, I hate it going in this direction, but disgrace, I would say, is the word I'm looking for. Really go to
Really
the
dig
level.
into that. Really dig into the like completely disgrace your father. But the
Because I
thing
mean, if you want
is,
people to hate you and get the heat that you need, that's one of the ideas
but then again, I kind of don't want that, because you're still, again, by doing that, you're tying him to his father.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually true.
So I kind of don't want that. I really don't. You're tying him to his father, and shit like that. Like, the AEW did wrong with what they did with him, because again, they immediately did what I didn't want them to do,
And
what
they
I
did
didn't
it.
want them to do, and they did it. They tied him to his father, and they tied him to the late '80s version of his father. And that did not sit well with a lot of people, because it's like, you're not letting him be his own man.
Yeah, I think that's what started with the
WW,
first.
yeah, the Varsity Blondes tag team. Oh, who else had that gimmick in the late '80s? Oh yeah, his father,
His father, and also Steve Austin,
Steve
or
Austin.
stunning
Steve
Steve
Austin.
Austin.
Yep.
Even though it's
When
kind of
Steve
weird looking back.
Austin, when Stone Cold shockingly had hair.
Yeah, I
Remember
know
that?
it's that's
It's
an image
freaking
that
weird. It's freaking weird now seeing that guy with freaking blonde hair,
because we're not
long blonde hair. Like it's weird.
not seeing the bald headed anti authority that Stone
I
Cold
look
was.
I look at that. I look at like pictures and videos of him with long blonde hair. I'm like, that's not my rattlesnake. Nope.
But sticking with the WWE a little bit, we're a couple 3 days late with this one, but um, John Cena did
What's
need a medical
Rob?
procedure.
Rob, what's 3 days? Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
So John Cena actually needed a medical procedure after his crown jewel match, which got to get credit where credit is due for Cena giving back and and honestly,
And um hopefully he comes back and gives us a retirement speech. Hopefully, like one time, like all right, I'm done. It's over. Before he decides to go back to doing movies, because the SAG, I think it was the SAG or
SAG
something.
after and
The SAG after that strike's over now, so he can go back to do movies.
so apparently he had some procedure with or on one of his arms. So apparently he might have torn something.
Yeah, he probably torn like a lateral or whatever.
Because when you really look at that match, I don't know where that was.
I think is when he was like selling like a freaking dead fish as freaking like as because you had Solo grabbing his arm. He's like jolting.
Yeah,
You didn't need to do all that, John, when he was like taking like 15 Samoan spikes. Like I think he like pulled his arm a bit. But hey, it happens. He tried to do sell like nobody's business in that spot. I think that's what happened. He sold too much and he tore his arm because again, Solo was grabbing his arm up in the air. He's in a laying position.
Oh yeah.
And you can see him like work his arm as he's like walking out of the ring. Like I'm like, yeah, he tweaked his arm. But yeah, like I hope he has a retirement speech or actually do what Dave Bautista did. Social media exists, so give us a long paragraphs thanking the fans on social media. Whether it could be on Twitter for all I care. Batista didn't give us a retirement speech on TV. He posted it right after his WrestleMania match in 2019, which I was okay with. Like, dude, thank you. You acknowledged the fans. You acknowledged that we were there for your career and that we, made you a star by loving you.
Even though it's kind of crazy too, we actually harped on this a while back. We talked about
Here's the thing. That 2014 run and the way the fans treated him, I can see why he got mad and quit again in 2014. I can see why he got mad and said, I'm out of here. The fans didn't deserve another run from him. They did not, because they didn't like the guy. Because, he's not Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, really? I think this is sort of when Daniel Bryan was starting to become that white hot product that
bothered me. Dude, I think I watched the Mania match where he in 2014 and he got booed out the damn door.
Yeah, I think he got booed
I'm like,
out.
Are you freaking kidding me? Like, I was mad watching that. I'm like, y'all booed Batista. And then y'all call him Bautista when y'all were the ones booing.
Yeah, that is true.
Idiots.
But speaking of John Cena, though, we actually did talk about, for those who have paid attention, kept up with the show, we have talked about this a couple times. The biggest what if scenario had Cena got his Christmas cuts in 04?
No. It was November 2002. November 2002. He was going to get his Christmas cuts. He wasn't even going to be there for that long because the whole prototype robot gimmick wasn't working.
Yeah, it didn't connect, and the crazy ruthless aggression crap.
But if Stephanie didn't do what she did and said you should rap on TV after what he did, after Stephanie saw him freestyling and said, "Dude, what was that?"
Now, one of
He
the
wouldn't even be a star. He wouldn't even be on. He wouldn't have had a lengthy run the way he did, 20 years, the
and
way
the
he
fact
did.
that it not be the face of the company that a lot of people remember.
Also, one of the faces of Hollywood. He wouldn't even be that.
Exactly. Like
He
I said,
wouldn't have been a
there's
star. He would have been on the indie scene or another company.
which that would be interesting to follow, but probably not. Well,
But here's the thing: back in the day, the indie scene wasn't as big as it is now. It wasn't as expansive. You don't have that exposure to the indie scene like you do now. Back in the day, it was like you're in the indie scene. You're
yeah, it's
you better work like hell to get noticed. Like
because now it's like you can go anywhere on the indie scene and even work hard and
yeah,
we'll
you
see.
work hard, you're gonna get seen. You're gonna get seen. Like and also a lot of times if you work hard, you go into that upper echelon of the indie scene. I call it. You can go to GCW, and if you
It,
get noticed in GCW, you might go to AEW or WWE or anywhere like that.
like
One of the
case of
bigger, one of the bigger televised markets.
like case in particular, like Seth Rollins, who put in the work in the indie scene, especially during this time with Ring of
He got
Honor.
he got noticed in Ring of Honor, but Ring of Honor I don't count that as indie. Well, now I do, but back in the day I didn't. It was like one of the bigger markets. Ring of Honor was on TV. I'm talking about like the non-televised indie market.
Oh yeah, yeah.
GCW isn't really televised unless you get a pay-per-view.
Um,
Which I don't count that as being televised. You know, what I count as being televised is you have a weekly TV show, like your Impacts or your WBs or your AEWs or your Ring of Honors.
yeah, pretty much.
But now I think Ring of Honor's indie because they're not even on TV anymore. They're on an app behind a paywall, so they're indie now.
Hard time everyone getting into this current Ring of Honor because I think a
Oh,
lot of times
it's so
people just
bad.
remember it hasn't really been what it once was. I mean, you had guys
Dude,
like
I still follow Ring of Honor on Facebook, and every time I read the comments, it's just fan after fan after fan just completely bashing Ring of Honor.
yeah, because I mean the fact
So
you have AEW talent on the roster,
dude, this is terrible, that's terrible, this segment's terrible, this match was terrible, this is like no one likes it. I don't even like it. Dude, 5 episodes in and I quit.
yeah,
I'm like, this is terrible. This is terrible.
yeah, the 10 match format doesn't do it for me. And it doesn't do it for anybody for that matter. And
Like,
at the
dude,
same
6 matches in. I'm like, when is this show over? I'm like, oh my god, another match, like 8 matches in. I'm like, dude, enough with the matches. You don't need that many matches on one show.
you really don't. And there's hardly a break in, but I mean, there's a break, but it's not a long break. I would say. But sticking with going back to the women's War Games match, there's been talks because right now because Team Bianca needs a fourth member. Right now, it's right now sitting with Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi right now for the women's side of War Games.
It's Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi.
And it is said that Becky could be an option. Could be that fourth member could be Becky.
Fourth could be Becky because remember at SummerSlam her and Bianca were teaming up against Damage Control initially. So Becky Lynch could be that fourth, but who would be the fifth? Who do you guys think would be the fifth? Because I have no idea who would be the fifth.
It looks like it might be this might be weird, but right now, if it's all goes, it looks like a 4-4.
If Dakota Kai isn't healthy, I would say 4-4. It'll be Bianca, Shotzi, Charlotte, Becky.
Yeah, it might be looking for a 4 because who knows? Because we don't know exactly the timeline with Dakota Kai.
Yeah, she could be hurt until Royal Rumble. Like Chris, I think Chris said it. Yeah, Chris said it. She might just be coming back at the Royal Rumble.
And obviously, and it stinks. Another one that's at some point I'm kind of questioning their future is Tegan Nox, who was another one that.
Here's the problem with Tegan Nox. I think it's her body. Her body fails her because every single time a knee is getting blown out.
Yeah, and she's in the like literally, she's in the prime of her career, and having these type of injuries is not really gonna. It's not helping.
She's in the prime of her career, but her body's like 39, 40 years old at this
Yeah,
point.
and she's 27, 28 years old, and
Yeah, she's around our age. She's around about 2 years older than us, from what like, or your age. Like it's to the point where it's like, yeah, cut your losses. She's too injury prone, and I can see why they haven't booked her lately. They booked her for like a random battle royal last week
yeah, and
for the world women's world title match at whatchamacallit, Survivor Series. So it's like she's only in random matches on occasion, but she's more on main event now because it's like, so it's because you keep blowing out your knee.
yeah, it
Keep blowing
stinks.
something, like you keep getting hurt. If you stop getting hurt, or if your body actually works with you, you might get more opportunities. But right
It
now,
really,
if she was getting booked better, it would be stop start pushes.
which boy,
WWE
how many
does,
times we
WWE,
seen those already?
we've seen those in NXT with her. With her, NXT, she had the same issues, and Triple H was hesitant to book her there.
Right, and and it's also crazy too. Look, you really can't blame Triple H because it's
You
kind of
can't
hard to
blame you can't blame Triple H. You can't blame
Dakota
the
Kai. I
only the
mean,
only thing I'm gonna blame is just Tegan Knox's crappy luck. Her
it's
luck
like
is just
she
so
can't
bad.
catch a she can't
She
catch a
can't
break.
catch a break. She can't. She can never catch a break. But yeah,
Yeah, gonna have to cut your losses at some point
gonna have to cut your losses with Tegan. And no,
because
Dakota Kai does not need to compete in war games. It's usually, here's how it usually goes. It's either 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. So it works either way. You can afford to not have a competitor in that group compete. So you don't have to do a 5-on-5 necessarily for war games. So yes, Chris, Dakota
so I
Kai
feel
does
like this.
not need to.
Yeah, I forgot Dakota Kai had a tore ACL. This is her second ACL tear, which is that is really unfortunate for those two women who cannot catch a freaking break
But
with
here's the thing,
injuries.
though. Tegan Knox had more injuries than Dakota Kai still. And in a shorter span. That's the problem. Dakota Kai, she can afford to get, multiple injuries if they're spaced out enough to where they're still going to book her. They're still going to use her. Like if if you have, the injuries should not be just close together. That's the problem with Tegan Knox. Her
It,
injuries are just too close together. And that
yeah,
causes for a lot of stop start booking if they used her properly. With Dakota Kai, she got, when was the last time she tore her L or her ACL? NXT,
something around there.
like last year, like that's like that was like, it was a year apart. She was on TV for a good while after that, and then she tore her ACL again. But that's why Dakota Kai is getting booked still, because the injuries are spaced out to where they are allowed to do
Yeah,
that. And thank you,
it,
boss. Thank you, Jake.
it,
Be sure to like and subscribe. Smash the like. Honestly, I'll do you one better. Elbow drop it. Elbow drop the like button.
yeah,
Hit
and
it from
look,
the top rope like Macho Man. All right.
don't get me wrong. Though I love Tegan Knox. It's just I would think at some this is. I would say I really hate to really say this, but I would not be surprised if she just like consider an early retirement, in ring
Honestly,
retirement.
at this rate, the way her injury history is going,
And it's nothing.
I wouldn't even be shocked if that happened.
I don't think she also has some.
Yeah,
Oh,
RKO it out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
I will say this too, though. Even though we seen her injure herself on WWE television, but she always had a bit of an injury history, even on the indie scene.
Yeah, she always had that.
It
Yeah, and
sucks.
that's exactly what we're saying, Chris. She just can't stay healthy, and it does suck because she's a
There's
great
something you
talent.
got something there in Tegan Knox. It's just unfortunate her injury history is catching up to her.
Like you want to know how much I like Tegan Knox as a talent. Go back to when she returned on SmackDown a year ago. I lost it. Like I lost my mind when she returned to WWE. Uh, you know, as a SmackDown wrestler. But now I'm starting to think that re-sign was a bad idea.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I hate to say it because I like Tegan Knox and she's a great wrestler, but she just cannot stay healthy. And
but
it's not her fault. That's the thing. It's not her fault. It's just luck. The luck has ran out on her.
so going to AEW, but Orange Cassidy actually talked about this courtesy from when he went on the under the ring podcast to talk about his rivalry with John Moxley, the similarities between him and Jake Snake Robertson and more. And also one of that too is the fact he was actually one of the biggest guys to actually help mentor Chris Statlander in a sense. But Cassidy actually Orange Cassidy, the fact let's before we go in and get into this quote, the hate for this man is
Come
ridiculous.
on. I know. Like, come on.
It's still
How can you
that
how
still
can you
rubs me the
dude
wrong.
dude, I just like when he comes to the ring and his weight and like height thing is like he's weighing in whatever and his height is whenever.
But yeah, but
like
Orange
like
Cassidy on the advice he was given early in his career pretty much says, "quote I would get a lot of advice early in my career. I'm not saying that advice was bad. It just didn't apply to me. It was just something that they heard that they knew this to say to somebody that or actually when they asked for advice or something. I got a lot of great advice, but I just did the opposite. So I did take the advice, but then I did the opposite because whatever they were saying, when everybody was saying wasn't working. So pretty much just from
don't care.
there.
That's what he's saying. Don't care. Eh,
But he also talked about
eh.
mentoring Chris Statlander. So this is actually been pretty nice. So Chris Statlander says, "quote Chris Statlander is very special because she was she was part of her little stable, and her and I have become very good friends. She's in a very similar spot when I had my first title run that she's in now. So we kind of lean on each other and kind of help each other out. It's not really so much that I'm mentoring her, but as kind of we're just like bouncing ideas off each other. Then it's also very easy for when Chris Statlander is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, just to be like, oh, hey, you should do this, and she does it incredibly. Like I'm not really doing too much; she's already figured it out. End quote.
It's basically how we are on YouTube,
Pretty
pretty much.
much.
Like just friends just helping each other out. But that's the thing. But that's the whole thing with Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. I love them. They're great. They're great people.
And honestly, this version of Chris
On
Statlander is probably the best we've seen in a very long
I
time.
also absolutely love after she won the TBS championship and even now every time she defends, she's signing to the fans who aren't able to hear.
Yeah,
I love it.
and
Dude,
then
I love that.
she also does, and I've seen her even on social media, like kind of get back to the deaf community. She's been a big advocate of the
Yeah.
deaf community
Yeah.
outside the ring.
And that just shows you what kind of person she is. Like, she's awesome.
But overall, we're gonna get to our last and final segment. You know how it is. Called a guess the wrestler scenes theme. It's
I'm
my
0 for 3. I'm better break this.
so so this is gonna be a good one.
Hit me.
So it says, okay, this is a long ass chorus. God, this is a long ass chorus, but I'm gonna give you like a bits and pieces. So, I'm a professional. Don't deal with amateurs, and all of them talk about you. Ain't nothing but premature. My mind and your body, a man and a mentor. Like I said, the chorus is too damn long, so I'm just going to give you a snippet of that
Can
of the
you read
chorus.
another line? Because I don't get it.
Okay. So,
like another line from that, because that was like the beginning, and it was like whatever.
so okay. So put you through the floor, have your head on a platter, like the rest of you cowards watch the fool scatter, then all the trash talking. You're a dead man.
You're a dead man. What era is this from?
I would say it's from 2000. Okay, I'll give you the year. It's 2007.
2007. Is this a male or a female?
It's a male.
Raw or SmackDown?
I would say at this point, around this time, it was the crappy version of ECW. It's now the Raw or SmackDown.
I barely watched ECW back when I was a kid.
You give up?
I don't know. Marcus Corvon.
No.
Elijah Burke.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. It was Elijah Burke.
Finally. Yeah. I got one.
It was from
I broke the streak.
It was Don't Waste My Time. Gotta try to give you something that's not.
That's what. Don't waste my. Yeah, I know that one.
It's from WWE The Music.
Yes, I finally get one without help.
I'll give you one more. Let's see.
I finally win at my own game.
No, that's too easy.
Looks like Elijah Burke was too easy. Come on. The problem was I don't really watch I didn't watch ECW a lot back then because it came on at like 10 o'clock at night.
So here's another one. We're sticking with 2007. It goes, each time I stare into my mirror, it's such a great surprise. Each time I stare into that mirror, baby, I just have to realize why the all. Actually, and take every star in Hollywood and throw them into the sea. Yeah, take every star in Hollywood, baby. They're all fallen stars to me. Watch them burn in the ocean, then turn around to see me standing in the sunset, and you can look at me.
John Morrison.
Wrong.
All right. Same
year.
Same year.
It's a male.
Raw or SmackDown?
I think SmackDown. I don't think you're going to get this one.
Is it a male or female?
It's a male.
Shoot. I gotta think of like a cocky, full of himself heel here. I don't know.
Need more time, or do you give up?
I give up this one.
It's Rob Conway's Just Look at Me.
He's Raw. He was Raw. You said SmackDown. He was Raw, and I was like 05.
Yeah, it was still.
You threw me off with the year, and that don't count. Give me another one, please. You said 2007 SmackDown.
Apparently, his theme. When I looked at this, when I had this album, they actually had his theme on that album.
Yeah, I know. That was the most. It was a knockoff version of that dude who sung in Toy Story. It was a knockoff version of him. I remember that theme. It was annoying as heck. And the guy couldn't even get over. Crowd was dead when he came out. But yeah, give me another one, because you completely threw me off saying he was on SmackDown in 2007. I don't remember him on SmackDown ever.
Okie dokie.
So that one don't count. That one don't count, man. You got to give me a fair shot. Don't throw me off, man.
Well, I'm surprised you got the Elijah Burke line.
Dude. That's like one of my favorite themes, though, from ECW was Elijah Burke's.
Let's go. let's do.
And also now, Rob, he's the freaking Pope. Do you think I'm not going to get that guy? Come on.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
Yeah, got to give me another one, man.
See. No, that's too easy. Nope, nope,
Come
nope.
on, help a brother out. I don't care if it's too easy.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
here we go.
All right, hit me.
So betrayed by the darkness and burned by the light, the cowards and demons all hang it like smoke in the night. I will make you pay for lies. I know the day is gonna come. Come see this devil die. By the way, this was back in 2006.
2006.
And it's a male.
I was gonna say Randy Orton, but his that I was thinking of the theme after Burning My Light, but that didn't come until like 08, 09. Damn. Okay. Was this guy even a main eventer?
I wouldn't say he was a main eventer, but he had some okay matches during his time with this company.
I don't know. I don't know.
You give
So
up
he's
on
a
this,
he's a mid quarter at least.
and you give up.
He has a dark gimmick. The way that theme's going, the words, he has a dark gimmick. I don't understand. Who would that be? I'm giving up.
It's pay the price for Charlie Haas.
I've never heard of that theme.
It was part of that. It's part of WWE's Reckless Intent album that they put out on May 26, 2006.
He had a run in 06?
Apparently so.
I thought
Pretty much his theme goes as this: walk into the flames of hell, let the fires burn, caught shaking hands with the devil, the fools never learn, betrayed by the darkness, burned by the light, the cowards and demons all hang like smoke in the night. I will make you pay for.
Dude, the lyrics made it seem like he had a dark, like this wrestler had a dark gimmick. He didn't have a dark gimmick. Like ever, I don't think.
Yeah, that's Charlie Haas's pay the price.
Odd. Huh.
I know it's very odd.
I never knew he had a second run with the company after 04, 05, he got canned from the company, and then he came back. When was that? Oh yeah, he did come back because I remember he started impersonating wrestlers in 08. And then he got fired again.
Because I was not going to give you the hit. The guy that actually came out of retirement, so I was never going to give you that hit because Charlie.
No, guys came out of retirement. I would have said Christian, Edge, Soraya. I wouldn't have guessed Charlie Haas.
Yeah, you know what? Charlie Haas would be one of those guys like people were never really would expect to come out of retirement.
I didn't even know he retired the first time.
Neither.
I thought he was just stuck on the indie scene. He was just like not even, being like booked for anything. But then he had that run in. He had that run in Impact, and it made me like, oh my god, he's still wrestling.
Yeah, probably working some of these smaller promotions, but so Tyra gets one. Elijah
I got
Burke.
one. At least I got one. At least I got one.
Trying to give you the most obscure lines.
I broke the streak. I broke the streak with Elijah Burke. Thank you, Elijah Burke.
But yeah, outside of that, I had nothing else to add because, man, 60 episodes in.
Man, all I gotta say, I'm gonna say something for fans here. Whether you're watching through the Sports Wave Network or you're watching from our channel, the Sports and Wrestling Connection, thank you guys. None of this would be possible without you guys getting over 1,200 subs on YouTube, and growing. Also, without you guys, we wouldn't still be doing this, and we'd say, YouTube ain't our thing. So thank you guys. YouTube definitely is our thing. Y'all fuel that. Um, Thank you to Jake Silva for letting us be on this network and helping us grow further. Thank you to the group, our fellow group members, for helping us, and we help each other. Um, thank the fans again for coming in and hanging out, talking some wrestling. It For me, these shows don't feel like shows. They feel like we're just a bunch of buddies just talking wrestling. That's
No,
that's
hundred
how it
percent.
is. Like
And
that's how we want to make these shows feel like. They don't have to necessarily feel like shows. Um, they they're just buddies talking wrestling.
at
That's
the same
all it
time,
is.
and that's why if you guys want to check out the playlist, because like I said, we put a playlist for our very first episode. The show's been around a long time, but
Yeah,
also at this.
yeah, we've been around a long time on YouTube, but we've also been around longer because we also did Anchor for a little bit, but
So
that
yeah,
was a
so you'll
flop.
see like
That was a
episode 9, which
complete
is technically our first episode on YouTube. So yeah, from episode 9 all the way to episode 60 in a span of a year and a half.
yeah.
Um. So yeah, and yeah, that's a design. The thumbnail design has changed a lot over time since
We
then.
went from we went from bland we went from a bland design to, and I don't know what happened with me with logo design, but I was completely trash with it. I just slapped words over a ring, like. But we got better with the designs, and this current design, I love it. The current logo design, I love that. Love that design. It's kind of derivative to like the '80s Hulk Hogan era,
Yeah,
which is
pretty
pretty
much.
cool. But like, we wouldn't have grown without support from not just fans, from friends and family, like everybody showing us support, giving us some tips, some pointers. Hey, you should do this. You should do that. You should
Actually,
insert
kind of learn how to
this.
get better at speaking, and
You learn.
that's
I had to learn how to get better at speaking because I'm like, I can't think and speak at the same time because I'm like silent. I'm trying to think of the words to say. But over time, I've gotten better with that.
not like
To
me
where
most
now
times. But then again,
to where to where now it's like I don't write stuff down anymore. I used to have to. I don't write stuff down anymore. Everything just flows, and
it really does. And another thing too that, like I said, even though like I said, it doesn't feel like a show, and you probably guys seen like the different like memeable moments out me Tyler throughout this entire show's history at times. Well,
yeah,
me mostly
some
me.
not so kid friendly stuff too. So yeah.
Yeah, well,
Before before that was before that. Now we've kind of toned a lot
Tony
of this down a bit. Yeah, there's been a few F bombs being thrown at times, but
looking
oh,
at you, Mister.
looking at you too, you dropped some too.
Yeah, you know what?
Um,
That's true. But at
but,
the same,
but yeah,
it,
there's been some F bombs being thrown on this show
you see me
before.
freaking mess up my own words when I'm speaking a million miles a minute, and this dude kind of
What, dude, your brain like literally
it
turned off
doesn't
mid
stop.
sentence. You were like, I'm like, what?
That's why. Look, if you want to roast me, look, I can take that on the chin because I can at least see that's the thing
You
too.
dish it back to me too. You dish it back.
Yeah,
But that's the whole thing. But that's the whole thing with this show. We want you guys not to just feel like fans, but feel like our friends.
yeah.
So you guys can come in, say hi. How you guys doing? We'll answer any
Like I said, we'll do
question.
Q&As as well, which then again, we really haven't done any, but
Dude, we're due for a chill stream. We are due for a chill stream. But yeah, like
if I'm
60
not too damn tired.
episodes. But yeah, 60 episodes wouldn't be possible without you guys. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
wouldn't be
But
possible.
but in terms of the streaming schedule going forward, not just for the Sports Marine, just for this channel alone here for the Sports Marines Connection. Obviously, tomorrow you'll see me and Tyra again for Night Show and NXT.
Yes.
Um, Wednesday you'll see another episode of the All Star Sports Show because let's be real, AW sucks massive
Yeah, we
eggs.
move. We move. Yeah, dude, we were supposed to be PG. You went like full on PG-13 with that one, bro.
It's
But
better than
yeah, like
nothing. I'll take the PG-13 I can get. At
but
least it's
yeah,
not an F bomb.
yeah, at
But
least it ain't
like
F
I said,
bomb. At least it ain't F bomb. But
but
yeah, but yeah, it's
AEW
like
just
AEW. But here's the thing. Here's another topic that we're gonna talk about right now before we leave. This is why we're not doing Dynamite anymore. Right? I'm gonna explain why. Any more kid friendly, not talking about eggs and butts. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Um, but, but
I'm gonna see myself out.
here's the reason why. Here's the reason. Oh, he left. No, but here's the reason why we're stopping Dynamite. It's been terrible. A lot of stuff has been going wrong with AEW that put us off. So that's why we moved the Friday show, All Star Sports show, to Wednesdays because we want to fill that time with
Yeah,
something else. We don't want to give you something devoid of content, so we're going to give that to you on Wednesdays. And
all this
Fridays
all
are only going to solely be SmackDown because the last few times. Also, another reason why we moved to Wednesdays is that the 2-show thing doesn't really work for me because I do one show and I feel burnt out immediately. So I
yeah.
don't show up to SmackDown as often. So that's why we moved it to Wednesday and we asked
Well,
Dynamite.
this do not have technological problems, but that's besides the point.
The
Sorry.
Fox app hated me on Friday. I had to rage quit last week because the Fox app hated me.
I had to throw you under the bus a little bit, so yeah.
No, but you gave me. But here's the thing: throw me under the bus. I don't care because I'm going to explain why I left. The Fox app hates me. The Fox app does not like me, and I couldn't. Dude, it was entirely impossible for me to sit there on stream and fiddle with my TV remote.
Yeah, and for most of the time,
Backing
people see
out
me.
of
It's always
backing.
me that has the problems with wrestling.
No, it's not. No, it's not, Rob. No, it's not. It's you with sport. It's you with sports, me with wrestling every time. I don't know how it works that way, but it does. Every time we're covering a sports event, his streams, the thing he's streaming on sucks.
Oh, yeah,
And then when I'm doing wrestling, the thing I'm streaming on, terrible.
So, and I think another reason why I don't think we explained it enough. This all the fact we're not doing AEW is all stemmed from when CM Punk got fired from, and Collision kind of went down.
I don't think it stems from that.
Well,
not when CM Punk got fired. Collision, that was the first. Yeah, Collision. It wasn't great. But here's the thing. I expected Collision was going to take a hit.
And
but I didn't think that Dynamite would take a hit.
Yeah.
And Dynamite, oh my God, it's been terrible.
And now you're gonna see Thursday. We're gonna see Sonny Kiss in action against Trinity. Have Sonny Kiss's first test against Trinity on Impact.
Oh, so they're putting Sonny Kiss in the women's division. That's a change, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Huh. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Cool. Okay.
But yeah, like I said, hopefully Tyler doesn't have no problems getting the Access TV app. You guys probably will see us
if the Access TV app fails on me, I'm going to be mad. I'm like, I'm not streaming wrestling ever again. I'm done.
So yeah, we're gonna try to do Impact Wrestling because I know me and Tyler, we've been out of the loop for well over a few years now.
I've been out of the loop since 2020. I've been out of the loop since then. Like when Kenny Omega was there was the last time I watched Impact. Because I was in AEW heavily by 2020, like heavily. So I had to follow the champ around, what he was doing.
But, like I said, we're going to give Impact a chance. If it works from my end, I'll just hold it down, do it solo. If Tyler can't get it going, and
which I hate if that happens. I would hate if that happens. Same thing for Raw. Raw's been fine with me. Raw's been fine.
Yeah. So. Pretty much it's going to be nothing after this because, like I said, I am exhausted. I've been up. So yeah.
Yeah, he's like, like this is why we were late too. It's because like Rob was like, contemplating, and we were contemplating. Like, he's like, "Dude, I'm tired. I can't do the show." I'm like, I will get you a
My
replacement."
reason for trying to push this back because I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning.
But I was like, dude, I had already promoted it. They already put it on. Key had already put it on the network. I'm like, I don't know if I should do it. He's like, no, it's okay. You can do it. And I was like, I was literally like one step away from saying, dude, push it back. At like 6:06, he's like, no, dude, I'm fine. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, just for some reason. But you're probably asking what else do you guys have in store? Good question. Obviously, you typical SmackDown on Fridays if Fox doesn't screw with Tyler.
Fox, you better not. Okay.
Saturday, I don't know.
Is there a Sixer game Saturday?
I don't know. I have to check on that.
We'll have to check on that.
Because right now the only days because right now we have because obviously our days right now we have not have booked is Saturdays.
Yeah, because we used to have it booked, but Collision started
took a hit badly.
It took a massive hit after Punk got fired. Massive.
And also too, before we get out of here, I want to give a shout out to everyone that actually hung up with me and Tyler on episode 59, which made our highest viewed episodes of the show's history. Like I said, me and Tyler, we don't really care about numbers. But
yeah, I'm not sitting there like every day looking at the numbers like, man, why ain't it growing? Why ain't it doing this? Why, like I don't mind.
We just were appreciative of.
We want to have fun with this, and
this is kind of what we're doing. But outside of that,
like with you guys in the chat, like saying stuff and saying hi and just like conversating with us, I find that to be a success. I don't care if it's like just only like 5 people. Like
right. I think so yeah. So if you call it guys like college football, but if you guys want to, because right now you're probably going to see me in the next. Actually,
bro, I still think Clemson is fraudulent.
So next week, 25th, obviously with that is Survivor Series. You're gonna see the standard crew, me, Tyler, and Ghoulie. You know how it is every single WWE pay-per-view.
And I'm taking the belt. I'm taking the belt, Rob.
You are not.
Who has the belt?
Technically, I think Ghoul. I think it's Key and Ghoulie are co-champions right now.
Key, Ghoulie, I'm coming after that belt.
But yeah, also prior to Survivor Series, you guys will see me do probably one of the biggest games in college football this year, and that's Ohio State and Michigan going at noon. So you guys don't want to tune into that. Obviously Thursday, obviously on paper, let's just hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a blowout because with Cincinnati and Baltimore, if you guys are NFL fans, come hang out with
Cincinnati and Baltimore. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. It's probably not. Cincinnati's okay. They're okay.
I mean,
but Baltimore's good too. But
how many times we said?
But here's the thing though, Rob. You're downplaying Cincinnati. You're downplaying them, man. I know they didn't have a good win last game. I get that, but that was one stinker. They've had a pretty good season so far. Okay.
But yeah, like we said, Wednesday at 5 o'clock. It's no longer at 6 because obviously, is the All Star Sports Show episode 7. Obviously, we'll talk like I said, and Tyler brought up that interesting idea, just have it all in one collective show instead of just having.
Yeah, because you had an NFL show here, you had a baseball show here, you had all these shows here. I'm like, dude, put it in one package. And also shout out to Jake Silva again, because it was right after I was watching his show. I'm like, we could do that too. We can put all the sports in one show.
And obviously, like I said, we'll cover a lot of things too. With that, if that's your guys' interest. In terms of the wrestling watch parties, so far this week is Nitro. Sorry. Oh God, I just had
Nitro.
So Nitro, episode 2. Then NXT at 8, and obviously you have SmackDown this Friday night. And then you'll see us back again for Raw, which, funny enough, I don't think we talked. That's the one last point before we get up out of here. Obviously, look, Raw hasn't really been perfect, but it's actually been digestible to sit through a 3 hour show. Whether how the roles there, you can see they're start progressing to get better as each week. Because
Yep.
boy, because last time we see any Raw, like boy, Raw hasn't really been like that in quite a while.
There was one time I think last year you flipped your lid on stream and rage quit on Raw.
Oh yeah, I did.
You
First
flipped
time I
your
ever
lid and
rage
said,
quit on
"I'm
the
done."
stream. Oh yeah, because it was just so boring. Because no, and I didn't. I did rage quit, but it's not because I flipped my lid. I was just falling asleep because Raw was so fucking boring. That was a one boring episode of Raw. I just could not keep my eyes open. It was just so.
No, I forgot who texted me that. I'm like, they were watching your streamer, like, "Yo, Rob is mad right now." I'm like, "What?" And then they're like, "Yeah, he got mad and then he like ended the stream." I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "Raw was bad." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it was crap. Like I said, you don't really see. And that's the thing too. When you watch our wrestling watch parties, you hardly ever see our mercy rule in our wrestling watch parties. Case in point, SmackDown this past week. Yeah,
Dude, you were like, dude, it was like with like 30 minutes left. You were like, "I rage quit on SmackDown." I'm like, "Huh?"
yeah.
Like with 30 minutes, with 30 minutes left,
30
you're like, "I
minutes
rage
left to
quit on."
decide, screw it. Because the any part the later half of the show, it just wasn't that good. And it's kind of hard to digest that. Just seeing this kind of weird quote unquote. How do you explain it with Oscar and damage control, which never made sense at all. But then again,
Yeah, I watched that segment. I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, wasn't she like feuding with them like a month ago? Like
um,
that makes no sense.
but yeah, which we hardly ever do that. And yeah, I mean, and like I said, as me and Tara said, look, we're grateful for the people that we work with, even though we had to shed some baggage, so to speak, along the way. Wasn't
Yeah,
easy.
yeah, we had to shed some baggage along the way. We've had a few missteps along the way for the last 2, 3 years.
It's
You
gonna be
know, it's been
come January, which is
yeah,
freaking crazy.
three come January, and honestly, it's but despite the setbacks and the fights between people and us leaving groups, some both times bad blood, but with us leaving other people, banding away from other people, and then coming together with other groups of people and meeting other people, and then meeting you guys at the same time, it's been a fun ride.
It really has,
It's been a very fun
and it
ride,
really does
and
show. Like, if you guys like our NXT watch parties, I mean, I greatly appreciate you guys coming out from last week. Like I said, that's one of our highest viewed in terms of the NXT that we done. I mean, we've done NXT for a while. Well, mostly me because I know I really can't blame fault Tyler because back then, like it was kind of hard to get.
I can't really completely trust NXT yet. That's my problem, and I think last week I was just going through like stomach issues last week, so that's why I didn't make it.
Yeah. So, but
It's,
like I said, it's like I said, that's why I will definitely always hold it down for NXT because, like I said, I know NXT is not for everybody because it's in a way
it's
they're
kind
not.
of it's like after 2.0, it's just like they can't completely trust it, and I understand it too, but this is what I like about working with, you know, literally my best friend here. Like
Yeah, they're
he'll hold it down when I'm not available. I'll hold it down when he's not available. But I have to have somebody with me because I can't hold it down by myself because I'm
even
awkward.
though if you guys saw that in like they I would say in the most not say recent, but some of the episodes of the show in the past, like uh yeah, yeah, there's times, but outside of that, like I said, we don't have very much coming up this week. It's been a very, very light week in terms of whether you guys like this show, any sports play by plays, that kind of thing. It's been a very light week because obviously we're all getting towards the holiday season and we've been hardly, and you're probably going to not see much towards during the Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays. So that's going to be exception. You're not going to
Yeah,
really see
if
much.
you're expecting like the Eagles game on Christmas, probably not gonna get that. Probably not.
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving games, you're probably not gonna get that. Maybe the prime time one. Maybe the 8 o'clock we might do something, but
Well, maybe that's up in the
Maybe that's
air.
a maybe with that because those holidays are for
Like I
family.
said, or as if you guys go to wrestling events, there's a thing called cars subject to change. So you know, nothing's really set in stone at the moment. So
I think
let's,
no, I think the family, the whole not the family thing, but like the whole Thanksgiving and Christmas thing. I think we should hold off on streams there
yeah,
because like those days are for family. Those days aren't for oh, a sports game is on. Like I barely even watched sports. I think I watched a like I think one football game on Thanksgiving last year, and
uh,
like and that was Dallas versus New York
ugh.
last year. And that was a pretty okay game. Um, I barely watched anything Christmas like football related or basketball related. I didn't really watch sports then, but
Like we said, if you
I was out with
guys,
family that day, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching sports
if
today.
you
So
guys have any other ideas you want to run by us, let us know because like I said, we're always open to fresh new ideas. Um, whether you guys want to see any types of reaction, like I said, I know the all 22. Like I said, that idea kind of flopped.
the thing is, the idea kind of flopped because I didn't know. I looked back, I'm like, I really don't know crap about football, like the in depth part. So I shouldn't even do that. Um, like I was diving myself into we were diving ourselves into the deep end. We were like, we didn't even know schemes heavily
Yeah,
that much. I'm like, is
yeah.
that
So
4-3? Is that zone? I don't know. Like
because we had the
that's not
regular
gonna work
base,
for us.
how many times we play freaking Madden 9 times out of 10.
But
But
those plays, like you see those plays, it's like you really don't pay attention to the play name. You just pick a play that like when I play Madden, I just pick the play that has the green thing with the game plan.
and like I said, and also too, like if you guys want to see me, torture myself for retro watch parties, let me know because I will do that for your guys' entertainment.
We did that on Halloween. We tortured ourselves watching Halloween Havoc '89,
Yeah. First of
and
all,
we didn't even get to the last match. We got to like 3 matches before the last match, and we were like, "Yeah, we're done." Like,
yeah, I always say is Halloween. Yeah, I don't know why they consider that as a Halloween Havoc 89, even though there was nothing. I'm sorry, that's my biggest
the,
gripe.
the set, the only thing that was Halloween, you see like very few costumes here and
I mean,
there.
yeah, but if you guys want to see me torture myself with the 2006 ECW, just let me know. I can do that for you guys.
I would, yeah, screw it. I want in on that. Screw it.
You want to enjoy the pain too?
I'm joining the freaking pain. We are streaming that.
You know
I
what?
will
Actually,
join
no.
the
Let's do
pain.
that. Actually, let's push Nitro back to night. You know what? Actually, it's not a bad idea. Let's actually
I
do
want to
that.
do the episode where Sandman beats up a zombie.
That was the very first episode.
Very first one, yeah.
That was
That's
the very
exactly why I
first
said that.
episode. So we can push Nitro back to next week, and we'll just do that tomorrow night.
We should. We should.
Oh, trust me. Like I said, I know we torture ourselves for our entertainment, but we just do it for your guys' entertainment too. To kind of understand.
We're doing ECW from 2006.
Yeah, and you can understand. How crappy ECW was back in
How
06.
terrible! How terrible it was! How
Trust me, we're
terrible!
gonna go straight through it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Every single mind-numbingly decision that we had for that shit. We'll cover that.
oh, even probably the most infamous moment you probably realize, do rag Vince. Oh, I cannot wait to cringe.
The only thing that we won't cover is what he said at one of the pay-per-views because Peacock axed it off the programming
I thank God they did.
when he said, "What's up, my you know what?"
Like I said, we'll talk more on that. Should be like a whole other thing in its entirety. We could do like a little reminisce kind of thing next week. But outside of that, like I said, been a very light week this week. Because obviously for me, and especially this time of year, we're tired. And
I'm not tired. I'm wide the hell awake right now.
like
But
we don't usually try to overwork ourselves.
yeah,
And yeah, I know.
we wanted to do like one stream per day, in a sense. So it's like
In a way, we're kind of but yeah, I know last week had to pull double duty with this show, so that's twice we had to do that because this did me.
and also tonight no Raw. No Raw, because Rob's tired as hell, and
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I'll probably just watch the Monday Night Football game tonight.
wait, who's playing?
What do you think? It's a Super Bowl rematch tonight.
Oh, wait. Phillies on the night?
Yeah, Eagles and KC.
Oh, I forgot they're playing tonight. Dang it.
Yeah, we're in week 11, which we're still in week 10. I'm sorry.
I thought they had a bye week this week.
They did. They did yesterday.
No, like a bye week in general.
Yeah, week 10 was the bye week.
I know, we're still in week 10. Week 11 doesn't start till Thursday.
I know it's
Thursday
weird.
night. Thursday night football is the start of a new week.
Yeah, I know it's weird. It's weird, but
We're not playing tonight. We're not playing tonight. We're not playing tonight because it's still the week we're in the bye week. We're playing next Monday.
But like we said, if you guys have any other here's another thing too before we get up out of here. If you guys have any topic suggestions, definitely let us know. Like, definitely submit some topics. If you guys are in our official Discord, submit your topics in there, and then we'll do our best to cover it.
Or hell,
Oh, yeah, right.
You can DM me on the official It's Really page.
Yeah. Also, on Twitter. Check out in the link tree down below. Like I said, we're always open to any topic suggestions. If you guys want to do, nicely, we don't really do recaps as much, but if you guys want to see our kind of like our own review, not like an in-depth review, like any shows you guys might want to see, and overall stuff like that. Like I said, we're open to any suggestions. Like I said, we're pretty much an open book. You guys want to definitely a Q&A session, like we said, we can add those as well. Like I said, like this week. Oh yeah, you what? Yeah, you're right. It's oof. Good luck, Denver. That's what's the point.
I told you it's a bad game. You're like, oh, KC and Phillies on the night. No, now they're on next week. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for showing up, showing out.
Absolutely.
Every day since we came in episode 9 of the podcast,
Even technically, it's our first official YouTube episode. Even though,
yeah, technically our first official YouTube episode.
As we're saying it, even though, but it's the 9th episode. It's the show's history. It's basically
because the other content. I had a now defunct channel for the It's Really podcast. It only got like 44. That flopped harder than Draymond Green in the finals.
No, it flopped harder than freaking pancakes on a grill.
It flopped harder than LeBron.
But like we said,
it flopped harder than Embiid. That's the thing. I had to
try not to laugh.
Laugh. It was a joke. Laugh.
See, once you got to get to know me, I got a stupid, childish sense of humor. When I find something stupid, I want to find somehow to laugh at it for whatever reason, and that's why.
Whoa! You thought my basketball joke was stupid?
And this is why me and Tara are going to be laughing at at each other, and laugh at ECW in 2006 tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Here's the thing. Why did I say that I wanted to do that? I'm completely dreading it now. Shoot.
Hey, people love our torture.
I'm in too deep.
That's what.
Shush for PG. I never go shush.
Yeah. At times,
innuendo. A little bit of PG innuendo there.
Oh yeah, and also a little Office reference. If you guys didn't notice.
Guess what she said? Michael Scott. Yep. Love that.
But overall, like I said, if you guys are looking for the original ECW, we're not doing that again because that shit was
heavily censored it. Half of the stuff they did was cut out. But yeah, we're doing ECW 06, the worst version, because they have that still there.
Yeah. But then again, we saw you guys how you guys enjoy us torturing yourselves. Oh, trust me, we'll say this too. Once we get to the year 2000, unfortunately, we're going to have to do it again.
WrestleMania 2000 sucked. I don't know why I have to do that again.
I mean, we're going to have to, because I mean, yeah. So, But outside of that, like I said, we
All right.
we greatly appreciate you guys for everything you guys showing up, whether it's our sports streams, these shows, whatever the case may be. Like I said,
Yep.
we don't really ask too much, but if you guys just want to show up and show out,
Come on down, brother. Come on down. But yeah,
but
we're gonna head on out now. My phone's literally at 1%. So
but that being said, we are out.
peace.